This video's made for adult collectors because Venom ain't gonna know. Actually, if I continue that, I'm probably gonna get copyrighted. Ooh, scary bug. Actually, this is kind of creepy how real this thing looks. Even though it's neon orange, them legs are weird and scary. Transformers has the Insecticons and then the deluxe ones, but they're just the same molds as the previous Insecticons, just in different colors with some new parts. However, there was a fourth that I wasn't sure how they were going to do if they followed the same philosophy of the retools previously. Thankfully they didn't, and he's his own new mold, and he's a very neat one at that. This is Venin. Yes, Venin, not Venom because Marvel and whatnot, but Venin from Age of the Primes. And this was bought at Walmart Canada. Here's the box, not sponsored. The table not being against the wall now kind of makes that even funnier. Also, thank you, Dan, for finding this for me. He's very bright, which I guess is in line with the other three, but something about him just stands out a bit more than those. It feels like he doesn't fit ever so slightly. Like the other three are really chunky, and this one just kind of isn't. I like the way it looks by itself, though. The big hinges sticking out of his ankles do look a bit odd, but they are for transformation, so I can kind of forgive them. The wings coming out of the middle of the torso here is also strange, because it's like this on the original, but they do make things a tad awkward here. The instruction manual wants you to fold the legs down here on the back and then have the wings up and in, but then the arms don't sit flush. The way I do it is I shove the first two legs all the way down, then I get the wings folded as close as possible, and then the legs like around that, and that means the arms can sit closer to the torso. I would have preferred if the wings folded and then rotated a bit to sit even more flush, then the arms could be sat at a better natural stance, I suppose. The head is great. I like the deep red visor and the bug eyes on the side. The head, though, it sits a bit weird, like slightly on a weird angle, because the double jointed neck for transformation, when you rotate the head, it looks very strange, but that double joint does mean the articulation of the neck is insane. The shoulder attachment is a bit weird to get used to. You have to make sure you pull this section entirely through the little port so that the shoulder piece locks into place, and it's kind of annoying to get that pulled out. It also doesn't lock in super securely. Mine was a bit tough at first, but now it goes in relatively fine. That's what she said. He comes with a gun, a pretty generic looking gun, but it can combine with this gray part to make an axe. That looks cool. I like how he comes with a melee weapon. I find it very funny that on the back of the legs, there are the smallest of flaps to try and fill in the gap here, but it doesn't really work the greatest. I personally don't care the legs are like this because of the space they need to transform, but it also means that they can bend all the way on a single joint, so I'm not bothered. Speaking of articulation, so first of all, hit 200,000 subscribers. Thank you for that. Second of all, Venin's articulation is actually really, really nice. There's a couple of things that I wish it had, like wrist swivels and blah, 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 and foot forward. But for what he has here, it's actually quite surprising. It's the best, I think, out of all of the Insecticons that they've done so far. So yay. So the head is on that weird sort of hinge thing. It can do a full 360, and then it can look up literally all the way, and then it can look down all the way as well, which is awesome. And then you have this little needle that moves at the top of the head. The shoulders are on universal joints, so they can go all the way around and they can go out. They do, like I said, they do move at that little piece here, and if you're not careful, you can end up untabbing it. So there is that. He does have a full bicep rotation, single jointed elbow that bends about that far, and then the hands can fold in. There's no wrist swivel, and I kind of wish there was. There isn't really much. And then on this side, when I fold this wrist in and out, every once in a while, it likes to, let's see if it'll do it. It likes to just come out of its spot. There it goes. It likes to come out, which is a little bit annoying. He does have a full 360 waist joint, even though the legs do kind of get in the way of that and the wings, but he can still do a full 360. Hips can go forward, they can go back, they can go in and out. He does have a thigh rotation, which is a double mushroom peg, which is awesome. You have a single jointed knee that has a full knee bend due to the transformation, and the knee pad moves as well when you bend the knee, which is really cool. And then the ankles, they can go down, which is interesting. They can't go up. You have a toe bend down, and then you have the world's greatest ankle tilt. He's very, I have to move him back here. He's very articulated. I wish the wrists could rotate, and I wish the feet could go forward, but you can still get him in some really neat things like kneeling and stuff, which is how I'm gonna display him. So yeah, it's real nice to get this set of 4 robots, even though I feel Venin looks a wee bit different from the rest of the set, but the bug mode is probably the best part about this entire toy. It's so cool because it actually looks like a bug rather than the other 3 that look like bricks with bug legs. I just realized I haven't really talked about the other Insecticons, at all in any videos, so I guess we'll just quickly run through them. Ransack is just kicked back with a new head. It's a little bland. Chop Shop is probably my favorite of the 3 of the previous ones, even though he's just shrapnel, but with some new parts. I think the new parts add a lot. And then Barrage is cool because he's bombshell, but backwards. So there's butterfly joints that go forward on this thing. This thing is like, it's super cool. I just think this feels a little bit more refined, which is why I like him over this, but they're so close together in how I like them. Venom though, sorry, Venin, his transformation is very cool because I was originally, that's how you do words. I was initially expecting them to just take this mold and sort of partial it into this, but no, this is its own separate thing, which is awesome. So to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to take the arms and we're going to rotate the bicep 90 degrees, fold the fist in, and then it's on a double hinge, so you're going to want to collapse it in like that without shoving the shoulder in yet. We're going a bit ahead of ourselves. So you get that all, oh, for God's sakes, you get that all squeezed together. See, that shoulder attachment is just not great. Then we're going to take the head and we're going to extend it out like that and just leave it there. That looks really funny. Then you want to take the feet, fold them in. We're going to take the wings and bring them up and out of the way like that. We're going to take these legs and just sort of get them up and just to make them get out of the way. Then we're going to take the legs, fold them in like this way. You want to do it this way. Then you bend them. Well, first you want to fold the feet around. Then you bend them in like this. And there are these little tabs right here that are going to go into a slot in the crotch. And once you get that all lined up, there are some hook tabs that are going to hook into some parts underneath here. So you get this situated and then you just squeeze those tabs together. Then you come back here and you want to hook tab the feet into place. And that keeps all that in. You notice these little slants? That's for the legs to sit. So the legs sit very nicely in those little cutouts, which I think is cool. Then you want to take the shoulders and compress them in. And that little square is going to go in that gap in that hinge there. So you just want to like wedge it into that on both sides. So push the shoulder without the fist coming out. Wedge that in. And that clips into place. Then we're going to bring the legs back down just for now. There are 2 tabs right here that are going to go into the back of Venom's head. Then you fold his little like, what do you call this? His snout, whatever, that goes into the back. Then you can just flare the legs out however you want. I usually like to just leave them like this. And then the wings, there are little ports right here next to the 5mm ports that the wings are just going to tab into. Now, they don't stay, which is a bit unfortunate, but anyways, there you have cicada mode, and then the weapon storage is that and that. But, well, that's gotten really loose. Okay, but I'll talk about that later. That's a cicada, I think? And it's gross, but it's very well done. Like all the shaping of the bug butt all the way to the wings folded over the back. This thing tucks in so well, and the bug legs look, well, they look creepy, but they look great. The head is also creepy because of those big bug eyes, and the visor from the robot mode like becomes a mouth of sorts. It does look like he has a big goofy smile though. And then like you have the little needle thing at the bottom if you want that. I still don't know what that is, but you know, I don't know bugs. The gun can store on the side and the axe blade can go on the other side. I kind of wish they could like tab into the back or something to act like a stinger, even though I'm pretty sure this bug doesn't have one in real life. It still would have been funny. The wings can splay out and like flap and stuff, and yeah, that looks great. I love the texturing on the wings too, and they carry light so well. Overall, I dig this. The robot mode is nice, but I have my nitpicks. But the bug mode, I think they absolutely nailed the bug mode. If you have the rest of them, then I feel this is a must get. But if you want like a bug transformer and you want to go for this one, I don't know. I really do wish the shoulders could like tab in a bit better, and I wish the neck wasn't a little bit awkward. I still recommend it, but if you can get it on sale, even better. But that's my look at Age of the Prime's Venom, Venin, whatever. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.